Lyle moves up a little bit towards the center of the crowd and stands in front of a tall bull and bear. He doesn't want to block anyone's view. He'll blame it on them. After a minute of waiting, the noise begins to calm down. Everyone in the hall is silent, aside from a few whispers. Lyle can see Liz standing off to the side of the throne. Her silhouette is bathed in a golden glow. Across from her is someone in a green robe. They're holding a small pillow, and on it sits the crown. Raynar's crown. It's probably been fit to Adrius's head, but it's definitely still the same crown. It's been passed down through the Ossian family for as long as anyone knows. A door opens on the right side of the room, and there stands Adrius. His face is dull and emotionless, like a statue. He also wears a gaudy cloak that Lau remembers hearing about. It's a wool cloak of a rich green color. The collar is adorned with purple feathers, and the inside is lined with purple fur. This is a ceremonial cloak that all kings wear when they are crowned. He's accompanied by 2 guards, who walk him up to the throne and then depart. Adrius slowly turns around to face the crowd. All eyes are upon him, and everyone is silent. The musicians have already begun to play their symphony, and it fills the hall with angelic noise. The suspense flows out over the audience like a wave as they wait for Adrius to speak.
I had not wished to be here, standing before all of you on this day.
He pauses shortly into his speech. His voice is a bit shaky, yet he continues.
But the day has come, and I cannot lie by saying that I had not been prepared for it. Every prince has his responsibility put on them since the day they are born. It terrifies us, it haunts us, and yet we endure. Not for our sake, or our fathers, but for the sake of the people. Our people.
He gestures off to the side in the direction of the castle town.
Today, I speak for the pride of Lyre. The pride of its kingdom and its people. History has finally crossed paths with destiny. And we as a kingdom must band together as one. To ensure our survival and to take control.
He clenches his fist with determination. Liz is looking upon him proudly, and everyone in the crowd is practically holding their breath.
I have but one dream. One goal to strive behind. It is a promise to myself and a sacred vow to all of you. I will not lead you astray. I will take action and there will be no compromise. We will not buckle, break, or yield in the face of those who need to put us down. We as a kingdom will dig our hooves in and push back. You will give me all you have. And in return, I will give you everything.
His voice wavers a bit, but he keeps going.
I will ensure that our kingdom prospers, and I will make no excuses. I am not a man of hollow promises. This is my vow. I, Adrius Ocean, son of Raynar Ocean, swear before the lands of Tigrind and all of their splendor that I will leave this kingdom greater than I found it. Let the higher gods bear witness. We will persevere.
After taking a moment of pause, he looks down and nods to the person in the cloak. They begin to speak toward him in a soft voice that somehow echoes throughout the hall.
Adrius Ossian, son of Raynar Ossian and Elena Ossian, rightful ruler of the Lyrian throne. Do you proclaim today that you will better protect the people of Lyre and guide them toward a better future? Are you prepared to follow and fulfill the responsibilities of a true monarch by keeping the peace, upholding the law, and administering justice?
There's a short pause before he confirms.
I will.
The hooded figure slowly holds out the pillow. Liz steps forward and takes the crown. She raises it up to place on his head.
I now pronounce you King Adrius Sicyon, ruler of Lyre and one of the Holy Triad.
The crown is placed upon his head and Liz steps back.
May his rule be long and prosperous.
The throne room erupts with applause. Lyle claps along with them, but notices something. Adrius could rarely be caught in a good mood. An even rarer occurrence was to see him cry. These were not tears that would be shed after witnessing something beautiful. They were tears of a proud leader. They were not tears of joy.
I'm just gonna say Adrius gets like the best CGs. Lyre. Like there was a lot very well visually communicated in that scene. Yep.
Adrius gets a chapter.
Your turn, Jericho.
I did it. I killed him. It's immediate. The rest of the day moves by dreadfully slow. Adrius sits on his father's throne, apostrophe, stiff and uncomfortable. He knows that he belongs here, but doesn't feel right. It's been his destiny since he was born, but achieving it in this way was not how he wanted it. He looks around the room, his eyes dancing around with the people that fill it. Leaves slowly fall down from the overgrown trees above to land among the crowd. Some of them he recognizes from the village. Business owners and shopkeepers. Some of them are wealthy traders, which are both business owners and everyone else is just noble lords and ladies from the rest of Lyre. Their extravagant designs of their clothes contrast the muted color scheme that seems to be so popular with this part of the land. That crafty feline from Driz sticks out like a sore thumb amongst the crowd in his bright green coat. It's hard not to, though. It's not hard to, though. Almost more than half of the room is empty by now. Nobles came up to the throne one by one and wished him a long and prosperous rule, shaking his hand and bowing. He'd say he enjoyed this little bit of social interaction, but right now, that's the last thing he wants. The amount of emotions he's been keeping bottled up these past 2 days have been taking a toll on him. Right now, he just wishes he could be alone. To his right is Elizabeth. She's leaning against one of the walls, arms down by her side, with a dull expression on her face. Even Adrius could never understand why she always looked so bored with everything. She notices him glancing in her direction and approaches.
Something wrong?
Isn't it obvious?
Adrius.
She somehow manages to throw him a look of both understanding and irritation at the same time.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. I know you've been through a lot lately.
It's not that. I'm just tired of being surrounded by all of these people.
I have a horrible news about the rest of your life. He leans toward her.
Forgive me, but I'm not in the best state of mind right now.
And that's okay. I understand how these things can be a bit emotionally draining. If you want, I can take over from here. Almost everyone is gone now, and the after party will start in a bit. It's best you go and prepare for that.
That's true.
He adjusts the crown on his head. It was professionally fitted for him, but it's still a bit big.
I suppose I could let you take over. But I don't think there's really much to do from here. If I were to stay, it would probably just be me sitting here watching as everyone talks with each other.
He stands from his throne and rests his hand on the armrest.
I know that your position as War Minister is being tested right now. The future isn't looking too bright, but in order to achieve my dream, we'll need to play it smart.
Of course. I'll offer my advice wherever I can.
Sometimes Adrius wonders why his father even had an advisor. To him, it seems like he treated everyone like a consultant.
Your advice is welcome. At least I'll have someone older than myself for an advisor.
Yes, I suppose.
That is something that always bothered me about Father.
What's that?
I mean, no offense by this, but why did he choose you as an advisor? Given it's usually standard to have someone much older than oneself to advise you on these matters.
She at first seems confused, but then equips that smirk she always has.
Your father never saw it that way. Okay, that's a smirk. That's like the most stank eye. Like that. He's like, Liz will remember that.
I'm gonna kill this twink.
He once told me that wisdom and age aren't everything. He valued the youth of our generation. Said that their outlook on life and untainted experiences were what this world needed in order to achieve a brighter future. All of that along with a king who chose to listen to the right people.
Adrius taps a leaf on the ground with his hoof while listening to Elizabeth. She leans forward, looking into his eyes with her hands behind her back as if to get his attention.
He believed that advice could be found anywhere. Trust me, growing up had plenty of old and wise men, and women teaching him everything he knew. But as he got older, he searched for a different point of view. Choosing people he trusted to lead a good example, whether young or old.
As she says this, Adrius glares out into the crowd and spots Lyle. He's talking with another wolf, a local baker from the looks of it. They finish their conversation and Lyle heads out into the hall. Adrius steps away from the throne, still looking at Lyle.
Not everyone has.
Adrius, please don't.
I just want to talk with him.
He snaps his fingers, signaling the two guards standing by the side door to follow him. They quickly rise from their slumped-over positions and follow behind him. Adrius walks down the steps and heads straight down the long green carpet, people stepping out of the way and bowing. He pays them no attention, his eyes trained on that bastard as if he had tunnel vision. Ever since that night, he's been wanting to confront him alone. Lyle's been skulking around ever since, as if it was his father that had been murdered. Oh, yes, he must be so conflicted. Adrius exits the throne room and turns the corner, looking down the hall. He spots Lyle, moseying down the corridor. His tail is swishing left to right in an almost rhythmic way, causing his cape to flutter side to side. He's not going in the direction of his room, though.
Dog!
He slumps his shoulders and turns around slowly with a look of annoyance.
King Adrius, how many times must I beg you not to call me that?
That's what dogs do, though, right? They beg.
The guards stand behind Adrius now, their faces expressionless and their gaze straight ahead.
I suppose. Anyway, what do you want?
He says this with a tone of indignation. Adrius fiddles with his shoulder cape as he speaks.
Oh, it's nothing. I just wanted to speak with you about everything that's happened, personally. These past few days have been rather busy.
Lyle straightens himself out a bit.
Yes, they have. I'm really sorry about what happened. To lose one's father is truly a terrible thing. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Adrius grips his shoulder cape a bit tighter in his fist. He's been hearing several different variations of that phrase all week. None of them have felt genuine except for his, which irks him the most.
Yes, thank you for your kind words. But that's not what I wanted to talk about.
Lyle slumps down a bit more. His shoulders are as low as they can be.
Oh.
Yes, I'm sure you saw this coming, but I wanted to talk about your assignment. Guarding the traitor and all that.
He jumps at this statement.
Didn't do it.
Yes, I know that you believe with all your heart that he wasn't the one to do it. But can't you see that he's lying to you?
Lyle is silent, glaring at him with those wolven eyes.
He wouldn't lie to me.
Also like an insane timeline to like try to reconcile from Lyle's perspective. It's like, so, planning the murder of the king, what he did is he loudly announced his departure from the ball to as attention-seeking as possible, so that everyone know he was not at the party at the time of the king's death. All right, step one. Then he fucked the guard captain, and then he just wandered over to the king and stabbed him. That's the plan, the night of the murder. It's like... And it had to be planned because it wasn't a murder of like passion. They probably would have heard that if it was an outburst or any kind of argument. So like that was his carefully planned murder: is leave no alibi, have a known location every step of the way. Don't even have the pretense of letting people think you were still at the party.
Really? How do you know that?
He goes to speak. Hesitates, then continues.
Because I know him. What was that? The start of the chapter was day 25. Better than you, at least.
Oh, of course.
Adrius rolls his eyes at this notion.
You silly dog. I barely know him, and I'm assuming the worst about him with strong evidence. You've only known him for... let's be generous and say a month. And yet you act like you know him enough to assume he is perfectly innocent.
Your dad did. In like 2 weeks.
Those two don't seem really comparable, do they?
Lyle's lip quivers a bit, before making an irritated expression. He quickly turns around and begins to walk in the opposite direction.
I've had enough of this conversation.
Lyle, he's the king now. You can't.
You work for him now.
It's been fun, but
You're going to visit with him right now, aren't you?
He staggers a bit with his footsteps and turns around while still walking. That shouldn't be true.
Wait.
He's supposed to be visiting Leaf.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm actually just...
You love him, don't you?
Lyle then stops in his tracks completely.
After all he's done?
He stands there with his mouth agape, clearly thinking of how to respond. Adrius enjoys the way people have to tread on glass while speaking with him. This little shit. One little slip up and they're putty in his hands. Finally, he speaks.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, but you do. I can see it in those big eyes of yours.
What big eyes you have, Mr. Wolf. Adrius steps forward with his hands behind his back, leaning in a bit.
Are you sure he's not just leading you on? If I recall, it's happened before in the past.
Lyle visibly clenches his fist.
That was different.
Adrius crosses his arms over his chest and nods.
Yes, of course. Only you would know.
Richter is different.
Ah, so you do love him.
Lyle turns to walk away.
Really, I must be...
Tell me, did you fall head over heels for him before or after he fucked you?
Shut up, Adrius!
Adrius doesn't move from his spot, but the two guards behind him flinch a little as Lyle lets his emotions get the better of him.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. For your sake.
Lau realizes what he just did and backs down, his tail tucked between his legs.
I'm sorry,
Don't apologize, you fool. I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's a weird thing to ask before you say the thing.
You're not to visit with him anymore.
I'm sorry?
Richter. I don't want you seeing him. I can't have your emotions interfering with this trial. You need to understand what's at stake here, Lyle.
Oh, you struck the right amount of like condescension with that that delivery. I can't have your emotion. I understand what's at stake here.
Casting director Purp knew what to do.
Yay!
You need to understand that something crazy is going on. He didn't kill Raynar, and whoever did do it is probably still lurking around. And they might be out for your head.
Adrius holds up a hand, not wanting to hear any more of this nonsense.
That may be so, but this is the safest option right now. I'm giving you an order, Lyle. If I catch you in that dungeon again, I'll have you punished.
Ooh woo. With that, Lyle backs away with a solemn expression on his face. His tail is limp between his legs.
As you wish.
I'll send Leaf instead, who's definitely still alive. He turns and sulks away.
Good dog. I'll tell him you said hi.
No. Adrius throws his cape to the side and turns in the other direction.
Come.
The guards behind him quickly turn and follow him, trying to keep up with his fast pace as he walks down the corridor. Adrius isn't even mad at Lyle. Lyle's loyalties to his kingdom are far too strong for him to break faith. But he can't let his emotions influence this trial. Descending the staircase, he reaches the bottom and turns around the corner. I'm wondering if being stuck in his head is going to make us miss Lyle going to leave. The discovery remains secret. More stairs lead him down into the depths of the castle. It becomes increasingly more chilly with each step he takes. The floor is damp and cold along with the walls. Finally, they reach the bottom, along a hallway with cells lining the left side. It smells like spring water. There's a guard posted at the entrance. His eyes are tired and his body is slumped against the wall. He sees Adrius and instantly straightens up.
Stay.
The guards behind Adrius stand by the door to the stairwell as he continues to the tunnel. He always hated it down here. He came down here once to play as a child and let his imagination get the better of him. For the next couple of years, he was deathly afraid of these dungeons. Playing in the gardens was much more preferable. His mother enjoyed chasing him through the bushes and would even help him climb trees. She always had a few gowns that were covered in grass stains. Eventually, those just became her gardening clothes. Why is he remembering this now? He's been unintentionally thinking of childhood memories a lot lately. Given current events, it would make sense that they constantly try to breach the walls of his mind. He can't let those memories get to him, though. Not now. For what it's worth, he doesn't have a single worry when it comes to ruling. Whatever happens will happen, but as long as it's within his control, he'll prevail. Which is how ruling works. He has to. As long as he keeps pushing through, no matter the struggle, he'll reach that goal. The hall stretches on into a dim horizon, almost bending. Each cell he passes, he looks inside to try and spot him. And with each empty cell, he grows more and more concerned that he somehow escaped. That would be impossible. And stupid. After a few minutes, he reaches the last cell and looks inside. At first, he half expected it to be empty, but that was not the case. There he is.
Got Alexandria's Genesis now.
He's just sitting there, on the dirty floor, slouching with his back against the wall. His eyes are distant and far away, and he stares off into empty space. It's almost like he's looking at nothing. It's only been a few days. He can't have gone insane already. Along with all this, he isn't decently dressed. All he's wearing right now is his undershirt, trousers, and a pair of socks.
Already lost it, have we?
Upon hearing his voice, Richter turns and looks at Adrius. His eyes are sullen and his face lacks almost all emotion. The pupils are a deep shade of purple, which causes Adrius a moment of confusion.
It's on my optometry glasses, the irises.
Yeah. You're right, those are not pupils. The pupils are the black part. So they're a third color now, somehow. He shrugs this off, having never paid attention to his eye color before. He wonders if that's normal for humans. Not yet. He shifts his legs slightly, adjusting himself. I imagine that upsets you.
Not really. It doesn't make me feel anything. Just knowing you're down here is the only assurance I need.
Well, it's been fun talking with you then. Nice crown. He goes back to staring at the floor. Adrius is finding it harder and harder to keep his cool. His anger has reached a boiling point.
If you think I'm going to be dismissed by someone sitting in a cell, then you've truly gone mad.
Richter sighs, drumming his fingers on his leg. I know why you came down here. You're looking in the wrong place, though. I didn't do it.
Of course you didn't.
He says that in a sarcastic tone.
Richter, I didn't come all the way down here to debate whether you did it or not. I don't need to.
Then why did you come down here? What more do you want from me? What more can you do to me?
Nothing really. Only justice can get me what I want. Your nobility, as fake as it is, grants you a bit of safety down here. Not to mention, if we don't go about this right, it could start a war. Punishing you before the trial would cause problems. But you already know that. I just wanted to make sure you're suffering.
Richter smirks for just a second, before bringing his face back to its original expression. He says something under his breath. No, don't think I can say that.
What was that?
Nothing. Just talking to myself.
Okay. Oh, I should mention this before I forget. Your manservant won't be seeing you anymore.
Richter looks up, his attention being pulled in Adrius' direction as if it were tugged by a rope. What?
Yes, I've forbidden him from coming down to comfort you during your stay here.
Richter glares at him with a look of confusion. Manservant? Comfort me? What are you talking about?
There's no need to hide it. Everyone knows about your scandalous relationship.
Richter lets out a little sigh of defeat. That's not surprising. I can't say I didn't see this coming.
Honestly, I understand wanting to make as many friends as possible as a foreign political figure, but don't you think this is taking it a little bit too far?
Adrius whispers this at him in a mocking tone, and Richter slumps more into the wall. Ha ha. Shut up. At first, Adrius is taken aback by this miniature outburst, but he quickly regains control.
That's no way to talk to a king, is it? Then again, you wouldn't know much about showing respect to kings.
Says the one who constantly disrespected his father at every turn. Adrius shrugs this comment off, knowing it isn't true. He runs his hand along one of the cell bars, staring daggers at Richter.
You think we're the same, don't you?
What?
You believe that we are similar. Comparable. No. We're very different. The difference between the two of us is simple, but I'll dumb it down for you.
I have horns. Get on with it.
You've played chess, right? I assume you do. It's a common strategic game in Erin.
If you're going to make a chess analogy in front of me, it better be good. Ah, who am I kidding? Even if it's bad, I'll still get amusement out of it.
Right. As I was saying, the difference between the two of us is that you see this as a game. To you, it's all a board of pieces to be moved, altered, and shifted. Pawns to be played, such as our dear friend Lyle.
Lyle's a knight. You know, the horsey piece. Oh my god. It's not as weird for Adrius to say this because he's accusing him of murder. What's weird is that they were already just setting up the idea that he does see this stuff as a game earlier, and that doesn't seem to match up with anything about Richter's personality or behavior, that he's like scheming or a game player of any kind. He just
I feel like the scene.
He just kind of follows orders. He's like a community. He's like a community organizer in this game.
I feel like this work, or Richter not being the POV, makes this work a lot better than if. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like this works a lot better for him as a character than if we were on his side right now.
Yeah.
And kings to be checked.
Adrius interrupts him to continue his comparison.
For you, the game can be shelved. You and the fools that you get to follow you with tails wagging can walk away from all of this. And even if you lose...
He gestures to the cell Richter is currently sitting in.
It won't matter in the end. It won't be remembered. You won't be remembered.
Richter stares into his eyes with curiosity.
I never had that option.
People famously don't remember Kingslayers.
If I lose, if my piece on the board is checked, then I will be forever remembered for it. If I fail, nobody will forget it.
Adrius backs away to leave and looks at Richter.
I hope you take solace in that.
Adrius turns on his hoof and strides away. Before he can get out of earshot, however, Richter approaches the door and retorts. And what if I was never even your opponent? Adrius turns back around in the direction of the cell.
Then the game is truly lost.
And with that, he continues down the long tunnel.
So this is like two characters trying to be like really edgy and badass with their analogies. And it's like, neither of you are landing. Then the game is truly a lot. Well, then that's bad, Adrius. That was not a good comeback.
Yeah. I guess I'm fucked then, 30 seconds after becoming king. This is a wild setup, yeah. Once he reaches the beginning, he turns to the guards standing at the entrance.
There will be no further visits from Sir Reed. This is an order that needs to be relayed to the rest of the guards stationed down here. Am I clear?
The guard salutes in response.
Good.
Adrius turns to the guards standing by the stairs. He walks past them, snapping his fingers. The guards follow behind him, their clattering armor echoing throughout the tunnel, until that's all that's left is silence. Part 3. Richter will have to wait till next time. Because it's like that's like the most perfect possible moment to stop for the day at 2 hours in.
No, I miss Lyle's face.
He's gone. He's dead.
He's gone forever.
There's definitely not 8 more pages
Yeah.
of him. So many Lyles. Too many Lyles? Just popping Lyles like bubble wrap. What's it even mean? It picked up once everyone started talking.
Yep.
It was just a very long road to getting there. But it is fun to occupy getting to be Adrius for a bit. He's just little shit. Like,
Yeah, I think that's the first time that's happened in this story so far, that we've kind of shifted perspectives. But
yeah,
you know,
I think
it's certainly
so.
the right time to do
completely
it.
came as a surprise that it happened. I was wondering what they're gonna do going forward. I'm like, is it time for Richter's just like monk arc where he just like keeps meditating until he masters his psychic powers because he has nothing else to do, and then we just find out secondhand, oh yeah, all this shit went down. I was wondering how the narrative's gonna go when you lock up your protagonist away from the story, even more so than he was in his room, because then you're like, well, then what do you talk about? Time skip 9 months later. You're like, oh shit. Alrighty, see you guys next time. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye.